Hi guys, so today's video is a little bit niche, but I got this comment here on one of my recent videos and I thought I would address it as a whole video because I feel like some people probably do have this issue, especially during the first trimester, where basically you have emetophobia, which is a fear of being sick, being around sick, just anything to do with sick is a huge fear. And I've had this since I can remember. I don't even remember the last time I was sick because anytime I'm ill, feel sick, I hold it back with everything that I've got. And I can't say that that makes me any better, but it's just a massive fear that I have. I'm absolutely terrified that I'll be sick. So I wanted today to go through how I was feeling during the first trimester because I did feel very, very, very sick, but I was never sick. So I want to tell you some things that I did to help me stop being sick and feelings I had, fears I had, what I did to get over it, those sorts of things. So hopefully this will be helpful even to a handful of people. If this can help one or two people, then that'll be great, because as this comment says, this person doesn't know whether to even have a baby because of it, because it's such a big fear, which I completely get. So if I can talk about it today and maybe just help out one or two people, then that makes me happy. So let's get started. Okay, so I am currently nearly 17 weeks pregnant now. I still feel sick now and again, but not too often. It's mainly food triggers or smells that make me urge a little bit, but throughout my whole pregnancy so far, I have not been sick once. I've been quite close one day where I was urging, sat on the toilet floor, but at that point when you have the fear, I'm crying, I'm shaking, I'm so terrified. And yeah, I don't think many people talk about it, to be honest, about that fear, because I feel like I'm quite embarrassed by it, but it is what it is. Like, people don't get it, some people do get it, it is what it is. But during the first trimester, I felt sick a lot, and all I seen on TikTok videos and videos popping up everywhere was, you're gonna be sick, you're gonna be sick throughout the whole thing. I was violently sick. I seen one of my YouTubers that I really like, she's worn my earrings a few times, Soph Does Life. She's got over 1 million subs. I watched her first trimester video and she said that she was rushed to hospital because of how much she was sick. And all these things build up such an anxiety when you're in your first trimester that all I was worried about was if I was gonna be sick or not. And I focused on it so much. At the beginning, I really fixated on doing little things to make sure that I wasn't sick. Like every single day I would eat ginger biscuits constantly just in case. Even if I wasn't feeling sick, I was like, but what if I do feel sick? So firstly, I'll tell you some foods that I ate when I did feel sick and drinks that helped me. So if you become pregnant or you are pregnant and you're worried, try these things. They might help. They may not, but they might. Now, my friend told me about chewing gum, and I would say this is great, especially if it's just feeling like mild sickness. It did help get rid of it quite a lot. So I had a pack of chewing, I've got literally some here, they're nearly gone. But I have a pack of chewing gums here, downstairs and in my car, so that anywhere I am, I've got some chewing gum just in case, as just a little easy fix. And even if it's just in your head, it worked for me, so hopefully it'll work for you. So chewing gum is number one. Number two, ginger biscuits. I wouldn't say these were like the best thing that helped, but if you're looking for a little snack and you are feeling a little bit sick, they did help a little bit, but I wouldn't say they were like the number one. The number one for me was actually a drink, and it was ginger and lemon tea. It was the Twinings one, I think. I'll attach all pictures here so you know what I'm talking about for each thing. But the ginger tea, I had that constantly. As soon as I felt sick, I had that, and it did go every time it went. So I really relied on that. When I was live, sometimes I'd feel so sick. No one knew I was pregnant at the time. My boyfriend would bring me up a ginger tea and I would feel much better. So it definitely settled the stomach and made me feel much better. So that was like number one help for me. And I also bought some crackers. So I had some Ritz crackers, some of them like square dry things, a few different variations of crackers. I didn't really eat many of them, but I had them there just in case because I had that they were good. Some things that I also had was, if you're feeling really sick or you are suffering with sickness, you can eat a cracker in the morning and it will stop you feeling sick throughout the day. They were like the main things that I had around the house just to hand that would help me. And I also just made sure that if I was feeling sick, just sipping water, having little snacks. Sometimes it's really strange, but when you're pregnant, when you are feeling sick, it might just be because you need a snack, which I know when you're feeling sick is the last thing that you want, but it did sometimes help as well. If you just eat anything, sometimes some toast would be great. Just some butter on toast was good for me. Anything like that that's just plain. I had some soup sometimes. They would help. Now, there were some things that would trigger the sickness. Opening the fridge, the smell of the fridge for me, there's nothing rotting in there. There's no problem with the fridge. It's just the smell of the fridge in general. I don't know, it must just be a mixture of foods that you can all of a sudden smell very strong. That made me feel quite sick. So even now it does make me feel quite sick, but it's not to the point where I'm actually gonna be sick. It's just like, oh, that's not nice. So I usually breathe out my mouth only. So kind of like cut off your nose. So I don't know how to explain that, but basically just only breathe out your mouth when you're going to the fridge and stuff, just so that you eliminate even being able to smell it. The same for me with cat food. I've not seen anybody speak about this, so I don't know if it's just me, but cat food was the worst thing ever. Some days I would get my boyfriend to feed the cats, and I'd stay up in bed for an extra hour just so that the smell went. But even upstairs in bed, I could smell it. I can just smell it from anywhere, and it was so strong. It smelled like really strong vinegary smell. It was really strange. Now, I do have sinus problems, so I haven't been able to smell or taste in 4 years. This might have exaggerated these problems because all of a sudden I can smell now I'm pregnant, and things are really, really strong and smelling really strange. So it might have elevated that for me as much as other people, I'm not sure, but that's just how I felt. Yeah, that was my hardest one, was cat food. The smell of that was absolutely deadly. And then sometimes I would eat something that I would usually like and not have a problem with, and then I'd be like, I can't eat that again, because that made me feel extremely sick. So throughout the pregnancy, I had lots of different things, even now where I eat it and I'm like, I can't eat that again, because my stomach after for hours would be churning and I'd feel so sick. So I feel like you get your safe foods and then you get foods that you want to avoid. And I think everybody's different, because I've seen lots of different people do videos and stuff on TikTok and people say different things. So I think it is different to everybody. I think that is something you probably just need to figure out yourself, but none of it ever made me actually sick. Just makes you feel a little bit sick, and then you can just know to avoid that in the future so you don't feel like that again. For me, I had a tomato soup with a cheese toastie earlier on in the pregnancy, and I just remember being like, the thought of it for days after, I couldn't cope with it. So the cheese toastie, I've not had one since, because that just really, really put me off. Sausages, for me, the smell of them cooking and also the taste of them after. I actually really like sausages, especially sausage and mash. And so many people have said to me, a safe food is sausage and mash, and I'm like, not for me, because the smell and the taste of sausages have made me feel really sick. And even I had sausage and mash yesterday after my stomach was in agony for ages, mainly because of the bloating from the mash, but also the sickness feeling from the sausages. So it's still, I was trying them again yesterday for the first time in a good few weeks, and it's still not great for me, even after 17 weeks. So some things I don't know if it's going to get better. I'm still sort of learning. And if you don't know, I am a first time mum, so I've never been pregnant before. So these are just things that I really have just learned from experience, and that is it. So these things may not work for you, but I'm just hoping it might work for some people, or just at least help you and make you feel a bit more settled that there's not everybody is sick. Not everybody is going to be sick, because that's all I heard was, you're going to be sick. Well, it'll come. Like if I was like, oh, I haven't been sick yet, and they're like, oh, it'll come, and I'm like, why you say that to me? I don't tell many people about my fear of it because I find it embarrassing. So people don't know that, so they don't know not to say that to me. But it's not reassuring when you hear that, I will say. But just know that from me, I've not been sick, and after researching it more on TikTok and online, a lot of people aren't sick. A lot of people don't have any symptoms at all. That is very lucky. But I mean, I've been quite lucky in the pregnancy so far that I've not had too many problems. I'm not, you know, I know people have much worse experiences than me, so I'm very grateful that I've not been sick. I've not had too many major issues, so yeah, I'm very grateful for that, and I hope that that continues throughout the pregnancy and the birth. Hopefully it all just goes quite nicely. Fingers crossed. I don't really have too much more to touch on that. I just wanted to reassure people that not everybody is sick. There are some things that make you feel sick. There's certain smells, certain tastes of things that once you may have loved, you may not love so much at the moment. And I don't know why that is, and I don't know what it could be for you, but I think don't let that put you off pregnancy, because for me, I've not been sick. And I had that big fear when I become pregnant. I was like, I was really scared of my boyfriend going to work because I was on my own all day, and I thought, if I'm sick, I can't be on my own. I cannot be on my own if I'm going to be sick because I have too much of a fear. I will literally think I'm dying. Some people just puke for the funsies. I don't know, like on a night out they'll just do it and then they feel better. I'm just really quite the opposite. Like if I'm going to be sick, it will be a whole week about it. I will sit there, I will cry my eyes out. It will be like, this is the last day of my life on earth. So being sick is a major thing for me, and luckily I've avoided it so far. Some people say, oh, I've been sick in birth and stuff like that, and that's obviously scary to me too, but if I've got this far without it, I'm sure I'll go the rest without it, hopefully. I know my friend is pregnant at the moment and she's been sick lots, but it doesn't seem to bother her as much as me, for example. So she's just like, yeah, I've been sick a few times today, and I'm like, huh? But I think if you're not bothered, you're more likely to be sick because it's not bothering you. But I think when you have the fear of it, you really fight it back anyway, which does help because it means that you're not going to be sick. But yeah, I hope this video has helped in any sort of way. I know it is a niche one and this probably isn't very interesting for majority of people, but if you are that type of person who either wants to get pregnant but you have emetophobia, or you are pregnant and you're scared or anything like that, let me know in the comments as well where you're at. If you're worried or if you don't care about being sick at all and you just have absolutely no fear, just let me know where you're at and maybe I can help a little bit more. If you want to see any videos on anything at all, please leave it in the comments, because as you can see, this video is literally made because someone commented on one of my videos asking a question, so that's what I'm here for. If you would like to support my business, because I am going to do a video soon of the struggles of pregnancy and being a small business owner, because my lord, there are a lot, then please follow my social medias. They are linked down below. Please subscribe to my channel. It really helps my business. This is all my business, so anything that I make from YouTube or anything like that all goes towards my business, and it just helps me. If you do like my earrings, I'm wearing some today. These are actually from my recent Secret Garden launch. I have been wearing these non-stop. My link is in the description for my website. It's justcharrings.com. I make handmade polymer clay earrings and accessories, and I will be continuing this through my pregnancy and through after birth as well. I will be juggling a business and being a parent, which I'm sure will be very fun, but it's already a struggle, so that's great. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.